You've just been dropped into a world where reality bends to the will of the strongest. You're in a virtual world, but the rules are different here. The weak are fodder, and the powerful, they're gods. Welcome to Overlord, a universe where power isn't just an advantage, it's the difference between life and death. But here's the thing, you think you know who the most powerful character is, don't you? But I bet, just bet, you're wrong. Stick around, because today, we're ranking the top 10 most powerful characters in Overlord, and some of these might just surprise you. Before we dive in, let me ask you, how many of these characters could you beat in a one-on-one? Think you're tough. Overlord is a world of extremes. We're not talking about your average fantasy world with basic heroes and villains. No. This series pulls you into a realm where the strongest are absolute rulers, capable of reshaping the very fabric of reality. So what makes these characters truly powerful? Is it raw strength, magic, or perhaps something even more terrifying, intellect and manipulation? As we go through this list, we'll take you through not just their abilities, but how they shape this twisted world. Stick around until the end, and you might just see who takes the top spot and why the consensus might be wrong. Ready? Let's get into it. 10. Cocytus, the frost-hearted beast. I wouldn't want to be anywhere near him. 9. Albedo, the stunning strategist. Next up, Albedo, the woman who could rip you apart with a smile. She's the overseer of the Guardians. And while you might think that's just a fancy title, don't be fooled. Albedo is a master manipulator. Her loyalty to Ainz is unmatched, but it's her intelligence and leadership skills that put her on this list. She's not just a pretty face, she's a serious threat. Her sheer mana reserves are insane, and her command over the Guardians, unmatched. But what makes her terrifying isn't just her power, it's the fact that she has the brains to take down anyone who stands in her way. By the way, did you know that she's technically the most dangerous Guardian in Nazarick? Yeah, I know. Sounds crazy, right? 8. Sebastian, the Dragon Slayer. Coming in at number 8, we have Sebastian, the butler who could break you in half without breaking a sweat. This man is a beast. He's calm, composed, and moves with the grace of a deadly predator. Dragon Slayer doesn't even do him justice. Sebas is a true martial artist, capable of defeating even the strongest opponents with his flawless techniques. But here's the twist. He doesn't want to fight. He's a man of honor, and that makes him even more terrifying. You know that saying, don't poke the bear? Well, Sebas is the bear that doesn't want to be poked until you make him. Can you imagine being the guy who gets on his bad side? No thanks. 7. Ainz Ual Gaun, the Undead Overlord. At number 7, we have Ainz Ual Gaun, the mastermind who rules over Nazarick. Yes, he's an undead overlord, but don't mistake him for just some shambling skeleton. Ainz has the raw power to destroy entire armies and rewrite the rules of reality with his magic. Sure, his physical prowess might not be as overwhelming as some others on this list, but his intellect and sheer magical abilities make him an unstoppable force. Ainz is a tactician who plays the long game, and when he sets his sights on something, you better believe that no one is safe. But here's the kicker. Ainz might be the most dangerous character, but he's still learning, and that could mean some terrifying things for the people of this world. More on that later. 6. Shaltir Bloodfallen, the Vampire Queen. Shaltir Bloodfallen, the vampire who might make you question your entire life. Powerful doesn't even begin to cover it. Shaltir is an absolute monster in combat. Her magic is devastating, her speed is terrifying, and she has the raw power to take down nearly any opponent. What makes her even scarier is her loyalty to Ainz and her unpredictable nature. She's not just a brute force, she's a tactical genius when it comes to controlling the battlefield. But, and this is a big but, her tragic flaw lies in her obsession with perfection. Is it possible she might? Number 5. Demiurge. Number 5 brings us to Demiurge, the demon who's not just about raw power. He's the brain behind many of Nazarick's plans. If Ainz is the king, then Demiurge is the hand that controls the empire. His intelligence and strategic mind put him in a league of his own. Demiurge doesn't just crush his enemies, he makes them play into his hand. This demon could manipulate entire countries without breaking a sweat. But there's something terrifyingly sinister about his mind. His obsession with achieving his goals makes him a nightmare. Imagine facing a guy who's always 3 steps ahead of you. That's Demiurge. Number 4, Rubedo, the ultimate creation. Not only is she ridiculously powerful in terms of combat ability, but she is essentially a living weapon created to be perfect. She was designed to have no weaknesses, and her power level reflects that. We're talking apocalyptic level strength. This woman could take on an army and win effortlessly. But there's something even darker about Rubedo. Her loyalty, while unquestionable, could make her a wild card in a future battle. She's been holding back, but how long can that last? Anyone else think Rubedo's ready to break the chains? I wouldn't be surprised if we see her in a showdown soon. 3. The Elder Liches. Now we get to the Elder Liches. This trio is not to be underestimated. These liches were created for one purpose: to dominate. Their magical power is beyond anything most of the living world could comprehend. The combined might of these 3 beings could wipe out nations without even breaking a sweat. But here's the catch. They're playing a long game, and when these monsters finally make their move, it'll be like the end of the world as we know it. So, we've reached the top of the list, but we haven't even covered the most powerful yet. Are you ready to find out who's taking the top spot? The true king of Overlord? Trust me, you won't see it coming. But before we get there, let me ask you this. Have you ever wondered about the power of compounding in life? I've got a video on that too. Check it out right after this one to understand how small decisions today can lead to massive changes tomorrow. The world of Overlord might be extreme, but real-life power is just as calculated. Until next time, stay powerful. Hit that like button if you've learned something new, subscribe if you want more, and I'll see you in the next video.